I thought I'd make another video about smoking a pipe because everybody was so kind and so nice. There were so many interesting comments to the video that I previously did about the joy of smoking a pipe. And it really encouraged me to want to make another video and talk about other things. Of course, I've got to smoke a pipe in a video about smoking pipes. But it was interesting. One person said, I don't smoke a pipe, but I enjoy watching others smoke it. Others have obviously said about the aroma of the tobacco and how it takes them back to earlier times. And there's something definitely to be said about the nostalgic element of smoking a pipe. But for me, as I mentioned in the video before, and I don't want to sort of just tread over old ground, it is that slowing down and meditative type of effect that I enjoy from the pipe, especially now that I'm a bit more knowledgeable about the effects of the pipe. It's not as grim as everybody's made out. And I know some people say, oh, but they put things in the tobacco and what have you. I would love to get to a point where we could grow our own tobacco and blend it ourselves. I don't know how successful that is in the UK, where I am in England, but it will give it a go. So today, this is a pipe that was given to me by my lovely girlfriend, Julia, the lovely Julia, I call her. It's a meerschaum pipe with an acrylic coloured amber and, well, sort of all sorts of a smoky stem on it with a fish tail end, and it's quite lightweight. It's got a relatively small bowl, so that it's nice. And I actually enjoy sometimes having a big bowl so you can just have a long, gentle smoke. And other times a small bowl, this sort of size, is about perfect. You know, a good sort of 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on what you're doing. Oh, and I'm going to smoke. And this is one thing I thought, you know, it is like the old EverQuest for the perfect tobacco, and there's thousands of them, and I'm hoping that by encouraging other people to explore it as a potential hobby, that it will keep the tobacco growers and the blenders and the small companies in business. Anyway, this one is a one called Artisan's Blend. It's quite nice. It's made by Ashton. I also enjoy their Guilty Pleasure and Rainy Day. They are a German company as far as I know. Pipe tobacco, 50 grams. And as you'll notice, once again, I have taken off all the government health warnings. I think that's subliminal. I mentioned that before. And it's off-putting. I just think it's off-putting. It's you're giving your subconscious mind something to think about. I don't want it to think about negative things. So again, a bit of an old card, birthday card, I've cut out, put over here where the stupid health messages are from the government. And it's nicer. It's a nicer thing to look at. And I just immerse these tins in water, very hot, and then slowly take off all the labelling, keep the tins. And then when I buy a new one, I take out the packaging from one and put it into another, and having fixed the lid, I do that. So let's go into this. I've been smoking this one a few days, and it's got a very earthy sort of scent, this one. It's not aromatic. I suppose they would call it an English blend. And it's... I'm still learning about all the different Perique and Virginia and all the different ones and what they all smell like. What I would love to do is to buy them individually and have a go at blending them myself and smoking them individually, so I get to know the flavours. I'm still relatively new to all of this. I suppose, how long have I been smoking now? About, well, nearly a year, I'm guessing, maybe less, maybe 8 months. It would be interesting to do that. But it's funny how some people, they find the right thing and then they just stick with it very early on. I love to explore, and because there's so many different tobaccos, it's rare for me to buy the same one. Although there are, I'll buy, as I say, certain ones more than once because I'll think, did I enjoy it? And maybe sometimes it's the blend that changes. Maybe if it's older, and I think they call them cellaring them, where you put them in storage and you come back a bit later on, they've dried out, perhaps they may have matured even more. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get back to it. I do love all the paraphernalia that goes with it. If it wasn't so much that it was expensive with all the tax that they put on it, I would love to have some of these old stone jars with the cork lids and a shelf. You can see I've got loads of books and things, but a shelf dedicated to different tobaccos from all over the world would be absolutely lovely. I think I showed you that I had this pipe lighter that one of my viewers had sent me, and it's brilliant. So I'm using that a lot. And when you watch some of these other people who are introducing you to pipes, you know, they talk about different ways to pack a pipe. I never knew that there were different ways to pack a pipe. Some people tap it down, put their tamper in and tamp it round. And then there's different ways to light a pipe. I do think sometimes YouTube, it causes you to sort of break things down into such tiny little steps, and you make a video just on that one process. Sometimes I find that a bit laughable, really. You know, you find a system that works for you. I didn't really give them any individual names, but they say the first light is the char light because you're charring it up, and then, you know, you can just take off the ash a bit so that it flattens on the top. And, you know, sometimes I light it first time and then I just smoke it and it's all great. Other times I'm forever tamping it down, depending on the blend, I think, and the cut. I have yet to have the rubbed tobacco, you know, you get ready rubbed and then rubbed. I've yet to get one in a block that's all pushed together. And there we go. It's always good to get that smoke going. And I may not have lit the smoke terribly well this time. I love to backlight the smoke so you can see it a bit more. But meerschaum is it's a great material, but it is a little bit more expensive than briar. My partner Julia, she smokes a pipe. She has one made out of pear wood, and I see that there's a fashion for that. I don't think they probably last as long. It depends how often you smoke it. If you're only smoking it very occasionally, it probably lasts a long time. If you're smoking it, if you permanently have it clamped between your teeth and you're puffing it away all day long, I dare say that you will go through pipes fairly quickly. But you can buy what's known as estate pipes. I've yet to do that. I haven't really got the space at the moment, but I have to have a little workshop in which you could buy little estate pipes. I say little ones, I mean used ones, or not used ones. But if they've been used and then refurbish them and all of that, it would be great. I'm very much looking forward to this one being meerschaum, slowly turning into that orange. I think I mentioned that I had a meerschaum before that's lost somewhere in the house. Still haven't found it, which is a shame. But yeah, this is the thing about smoking I can revive it, is that they do go out. If you start talking and doing other things, they go out. But that's the joy of it. And as I said, all the little, the paraphernalia that goes with the pipe. Maybe it's a man thing, although women do also smoke pipes. But it is, I love it, you know, different tools for different things, different types of lighters, the tins, leather. Leather and pipe seem to go together very well, little leather pouches. I was thinking of making a leather pouch. I have got a travelling one which I bought, but I was thinking of making one. to put in so you can open it up, you know. It's like in the old Sherlock Holmes films, and you see them dabbling in there. What I loved about it in the old days, people would share their tobacco, and you know, you'd sit down and have a pipe together. Because people who smoke pipes are a little far and wide at the moment, and you're a bit strange. You're a bit, not strange, but you're a bit unusual if you smoke a pipe and you get noticed. You don't get that opportunity. It'd be great to have a sort of a pipe smokers club where people could gather together and share their favourite tobaccos, their favourite pipes, little tips and things like that. There used to be a pipe magazine, I think, when I was exploring it in the old days, 30 years ago. There were tobacconists in every high street, but they've all gone. All of that's gone. And it's a real shame, you know, like so many things that we used to have, it's all gone. The big corporations have bought them up. The policies of government have pushed people away from certain pleasures. And have made you license things, and they put tax on things, and it's really, it's unfair. And I would like to push back against all of that, you know, with the freedom to be able to decide what you want to smoke and when you want to smoke it and where you want to smoke it. Obviously, I respect other people and wouldn't smoke it in their houses or even in pubs, but to have a smoking room in a pub would be quite nice, if you so wish, you know. But a little smoking club, I think, would be good. And I was thinking, what do people drink if they're sitting in an armchair reading or just meditating, as I often do? I do tend not to spend a lot of time talking with the pipe. I'm doing it now because I'm recording this video, but ordinarily, you know, it's a quiet moment. And so there were two things. One, before I forget it, was I did think it would be interesting to find some nice locations. England has still got some lovely locations. To find a locations to smoke a pipe in, you know, whether it's by an old river or a stream with a pack horse bridge, with the sun coming over the horizon, and you know, dressed in some nice 1940s clobber with a trilby hat or what have you, and enjoying a pipe in a nice location. I think that would be quite nice, because sometimes, you know, it's the environment as well as part of it. Smoking in a hurricane, probably not the best way. And I have tried to smoke this when it's been very windy, and of course your tobacco is burning so rapidly. It's not true. One of the things that I think, the other thing I wanted to mention is, what do you drink? You know, you might drink and you might have a little. Well, obviously alcohol is something that immediately comes to mind, and you associate perhaps a whiskey or a brandy, or even a port or something like that you know, you're sipping with. But you might not want to have alcohol in the system if you've got to drive somewhere or do other things or focus, and it's not just in the evening. You might be smoking at lunchtime, or you might be meditatively going over a problem, a conundrum in your mind, and you need, as Sherlock Holmes, you know, a two bowl full solution when you're sitting there pondering. But you might want to drink. Now, I find milk is a good accompaniment with a pipe. I don't know whether you found that. I drink raw milk. I prefer raw milk because it's got friendly bacteria in it. There's a bit of tobacco in this one. I think I dropped a bit in there, but I do find that actually the gentle cooling of the throat, if you've got a bit of tongue bite, or you've sucked on the pipe too much and it's dried your mouth out, the gentle and the slightly thickness of the milk is a lovely accompaniment. But I'll be interested to know in the comments what you might the pipe smokers out there what you drink with it. Very pleasant. It's probably gone out again. So there's lots to learn. There's lots to enjoy. So I have pipes like this one, which I don't really take with me. This is my house pipe. It's nice, it's delicate. It does come in its own thing, as you saw. But I also have, I think you can see it just there, that little leather bag is my travelling pipe bag. And I have a little couple of pipes in there, some fuel for my lighter, some pipe cleaners, some flints for the lighter, and I've got my Zippo in there. And so that can travel with me. There's space for the tobacco and a book. So if you're stuck somewhere and you've got to, spend a bit of time, you can just obviously smoke your pipe, slow down, be meditative, or you can, lose yourself in a book. And it is that old analog real world that I absolutely adore. To get away from all the electronics and the nonsense of virtual living that we do so much of. And of course, if you can find a nice quiet tree to sit by on a relatively breezeless day and enjoy your pipe in nature, that's even better. As I say, windy days are not so good, but there we are. So, and of course, as we're coming into winter here in England, the bowl warms up, and it's lovely to warm your hands up. It's a tiny little fire, and yet, you can warm your hands up. It makes all the difference. If you're outside, you've been doing a job mending fences or cutting logs or whatever it is that you're out there, or just having a walk, and your hands are getting a bit cold, you can warm them up. It's these tiny things that make it so enjoyable. So there we are. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this bowl. I won't have to keep lighting it this time. And I just wanted to say thank you for all those very lovely comments. It was just very, very kind of you, and quite surprising. I thought there would be a lot of negative people going, oh yeah, smoking, da 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 da. But I'm very much encouraged that there are still a number of us enjoying and imbibing in the wonders of the lovely tobacco and the nicotine, and just being one with our dear old friend and puffing away. Till next time, thank you so much for watching.